Hi my friends, welcome to Ignited Mercy. Today we're going to talk about what can we do when we have not just a bad hair day, but a very dark day, or if we're walking through a very dark period in our lives. Has that ever happened to anybody else? Is it just me who is suffering and the rest of the world is just joyful and swimming in blessings and rainbows? Has that ever happened to a saint? And of course, I went to Diary Faustina and pulled out entry 23, 24, and 25. I'm just going to read little pieces to you. So I want you to tell me in the comments, do you identify with anything of what I'm reading here? Does the life of Faustina resembles your life either at this moment or sometime in the past? Reading from entry 23. Towards the end of the first year of my novitiate, darkness began to cast its shadow over my soul. I felt no consolation in prayer, and I had to make a great effort to meditate. She couldn't pray, she couldn't meditate, and she felt like she was walking in darkness. She says, I did not understand what I was reading. I could not meditate. Again, she couldn't read. It seems like she used to find joy in reading. She couldn't do that anymore. She couldn't pray. She could not meditate. She says, I wanted to die, but I could not. This sounds to me like a deep feeling of despair mixed in with anxiety, depression, even suicidal thoughts. And this is on Faustina. God appeared to her. And she says all of these things. She continues. She says, I was suddenly overwhelmed by despair. I fought as best I could until noon. She was fighting. And the fact that she gives us the time of day means that from the moment she woke up to noon, she had to be fighting. And even that portion of her day was so heavy for her to carry on. She says, I wanted to shout, but I had no voice. Has that happened to you ever? You want to shout, you want to ask for help, but then it feels like nothing comes out. Well, it happened to our friend. Would you like to know what she did? Well, she could not pray, she could not meditate, she could not read. And then she says, I returned to my duties as if I had come out from my tomb, my senses saturated with what my soul had experienced. That has happened to me, feeling like I just walked out of my tomb. I'm a dead corpse walking around trying to flip pancakes, or fold my laundry, or go to work, or bring myself to church, to mass sometimes, to prayer, right? So here it is, San Faustina. She cannot pray, cannot meditate, cannot read. She feels she wants to die, but she can't. Complete despair and fear. She could not find any consolation on the things within the things she used to do. Has that happened to you? Well, for our friend Faustina, she just had to find one thing to hold on to. One thing to continue to give her hope. And we find that right before entry 25. She says, during these terrible moments, I said to God. She just said to God. She didn't go deep into prayer, deep into meditation, or did anything extraordinary. She just spoke to God, her Father. And she said, during these terrible moments, I said to God, Jesus, who in the gospel compare yourself to a most tender mother, I trust in your words because you are truth and life. So that was the one thing that kept Faustina from going absolutely nuts. She found her lifesaver, and it was trusting in one word, that Jesus compares himself to a tender mother. And she says, I choose to believe that, because I know you are truth and life. So what is it that you know that can carry you through these dark moments? Do you know that you are a beloved daughter of God? Do you know that you are a beloved daughter, a beloved son of God? Maybe you don't feel like it. Maybe you don't feel that, you don't feel like that in prayer or in meditation. But if you choose to believe in that truth, that could be the thing that carries you through. So I invite you today, find the one thing that will carry you through and hold on to it. And find it in the Word of God, or find it in prayer, or find it coming to Mass and receiving Holy Communion. I'll see you next Saturday. Thank you.